Hi everyone, this is Suzette for Cloudy Sky today. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, a lot of times I focus on the technology. Early on, I did some of the travel. I also did some, poetry and a little bit of art, with my art and poetry thing. But I've noticed that my poetry has taken, well, new poetry writing at least, I've taken a backseat to a lot of other stuff. One of the reasons is not getting as much stimulus, not feeling need to write. But then I came up with this idea. Okay, it's not completely original. It was inspired by looking at different writing prompts. And I decided to play this game. Actually, it's a derivative of something I learned in my childhood, sword in hand. So I did this with the poetry book, came up on this term archetype. Now, according to this book, Introduction to Poetry, 13th edition by X.J. Kennedy and Dana Joya, hopefully I pronounced that right. Archetype, which is not a literary term I'm familiar with, but this is to help me improve my writing, get back into writing, and try different things. Is a stereotypical myth. And of course, immediately I think of the evil stepmother. They provided examples of some archetypes. And one of them was Medusa, a poem Medusa, which of course brings out the mythical Medusa by Louis Bogan. La Belle Dame Sans Merci, I forgot what that one was about. Poemanalysis.com defined the archetype as universal symbols. And that made me wonder. I was reading the newspaper and I was like, wow, chocolate. Chocolate has always been associated with romance. But before it was associated with romance, it was associated with power. What do I mean by that? Okay, let me just, make myself a little smaller here. Yeah, this is the article I saw and I was like, what? Chocolate's in prison. And their fear is that the chocolate, as you can see, solicit followers, prisoners are going to solicit followers because they, arrest people, pro-democratic activists, and they're using sweets and other items to solicit followers. I'm like, interesting article. And this is in the New York Times. I will include the links below. Okay, here they're going to a little bit more detail that prisoners were accumulating chocolate and hair clips to build power. And I guess they build power behind bars, so let's go on. Which kind of made me wonder, just how much of the myth of chocolate, impacting this. And how am I going to use it in, in a point? Because that's the whole idea behind this. I'm going to take something from the news, take one of these literary devices and try incorporating in a poem. Not so much the poem forms like the sonnets, the limericks, and everything, but just try and get it flowing nicely. Once I can get those, wheels working, then maybe I can start playing with form again. But in the meantime, let's see if we can just freestyle something. So I look at research. Now I went to US today to get a little bit of history behind chocolate. Yeah, so the Spaniards see the Aztec king drinking chocolate. The conquistador, those who came over to, I can't forget, Aztec, Mexico or Peru. And he had a large harem, 50 women. So, immediately they think stamina and of course power because he's the king. Not everybody was drinking this. The Europeans tightly control, you know, the when they brought it over. And they didn't want, you see, it was not for a lustful peasant. It was reserved for the aristocracy and the newly rich. So this is who it was reserved for. So it was, again, being associated with powerful people. Nowadays, though, chocolate is used like for Valentine's Day as a symbol to show, oh, that thunder was like really loud. Show, how much you value them. Well, it's not the same kind of power, but it's still a little bit of power. You know, I just remember in school, some people, Valentine's Day used to sell like a candygram or something, and sometimes it became a contest who got the most candy. So yeah, there is power in the candy, the chocolate. Yeah, I do agree. Also look at the NPR article, and I will link all of these below. And there goes the thunder again. It's a rainy day in Florida. And again, they stress, the aphrodisiac properties of chocolate. So, sex and power of a strong leg. So what did I do to combine all of this into a poem? So this is what I came with. I was gonna try a sonnet form, but unfortunately, I couldn't get the rhyme scheme down. So you will see some aspects of it start to look like, but I decided, you know what? Just freestyle, just to give me a little bit of guidance. But I didn't really follow the whole rhyme scheme. Here it is. I call it chocolate power. I need to get out of the way. Keeping chocolate bars behind prison bars has become increasingly harder. Hong Kong has enacted a new law to crack down on dissent behind prison bars. Chocolate's use as a currency of power ages back to a time of Aztecs and Mayans. Before Fry and Sons converted it from liquid to solid form, it was an elixir for warriors and a gift from the gods. It was taken and brought to Europe and became a luxury, not for peasants, to be enjoyed by the upper echelon. Now Hong Kong limits its accumulation by felons. To limit the power of the hoarder of chocolate behind bars that may solicit followers who would cause wars. I hope you enjoyed that poem, and I look forward to presenting to you more poetry. Hopefully I can get more, let's see, sword in hand and get some more of these literal devices and maybe even add in a form more tightly. So until next time, I hope you enjoy this and see you again.